Welcome to Cavalier Corner, a show in which we'll be discussing all kinds of fun topics related to student life. My name is Camille, and today we have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Gracyn Shulista, and I am the editor-in-chief of the Campus Ledger.
Nice. Okay, so before we get all deep into Campus Ledger, let's just get to know you. So I always start off with some cute icebreakers, just to take your mind off what we're going to talk about for a second and just get to know you a little bit better. All right. My first question is, what are the 5 places you really want to visit before you die?
That is a very good question. I would first say Prague. I've always really wanted to go to Canada, Singapore, New Zealand, and then somewhere in Europe, Paris. I think that those places would all be really cool to visit.
I second that. Those are beautiful choices. I know those are on my list. Like I have like a bucket list written down of all the places that I want to go. Some names I still can't pronounce, but it will be amazing. All right. My second question is, what is the weirdest food combination you've made and tried?
Okay, so I am a fairly picky eater, so I tend to stay away from like weird combinations. But probably the weirdest thing would be I have had a crepe with peanut butter and bacon in it, which is kind of odd.
Ooh.
So that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever had.
All right, I have one more question. I normally don't do this many questions, but it's interesting. All right, my next question is, if a new volcano is formed and the government had an online contest to see what it should be named, what name would you submit? What would you call this volcano?
Okay. So I've always really liked like Greek god and goddesses. So I think that I would name it after a Greek goddess, probably like Mount Athena
Oh,
or
that's one that came
Mount
to mind.
Artemis. Like I thought those would be really good.
That's pretty cool. All right, thank you very much for participating in my
Yeah.
crazy icebreaker. I too like Greek theology. Like I've read a lot about them. I'm trying to understand Zeus in so many ways, trying to get into his brain. So it's kind of cool. All right, so let's dig in. So what is the Campus Ledger?
So basically the Campus Ledger is the student run publication for Johnson County Community College. And so we do writing, photography, and video with that.
Nice. So how long has the Campus Ledger been a part of JCCC?
I believe we're on our 43rd year of running, so it's been a while. Only a few years after the college started up, the Campus Ledger started. So
I mean, they had to add news somehow.
yeah,
They had to get that campus news around. It didn't, nobody had phones where you could just text that person, hey, I guess to
right.
submit those information or just to spread the word, they had to have that news information system. All right. So I know that you mentioned that it's students run. So that means, is it all your students? Sorry. Does that mean that most of the staff are full-time students at Johnson County Community College?
Yeah, so most our staff members are full-time or part-time students. You have to take a certain amount of hours to be an employee. We do have an advisor that is not a student, but they're not really like a part of the program. They just advise us on like kind of if we have questions, they're there to help us.
Okay. So my other question is, do you have to be majoring within this field to be a part of Campus Ledger?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
The way I see the Campus Ledger is it's kind of a learning experience. You know, you're wondering, oh, is journalism something I would want to go into? And this kind of gives you an opportunity to like get into the work area and know kind of how it works before you kind of decide if you want to go into journalism or not.
Just dive in. Okay. All right. So I know that we've been hit with a pandemic. How hard has it been since? Because today, I think today's the 1 year anniversary of COVID. Someone texted me happy anniversary, and I was like, huh? I'm like checking my calendar. Listen, it's not my wedding anniversary. It's not nobody's birthday. It's not my friendship anniversary. So I was like, what's going on? And she was like, yeah, it's 1 year since COVID. So how has COVID impact the campus ledger?
Um, so a year ago, when we first went online, I would say, um, it was different, but it wasn't super difficult to find stories because we were hit with a pandemic and there was so much to write about. There were so many different things that were happening. We were going online. The whole school was going online. Campus was shut down. There were so many stories. I would say now that we've been in it for a year, not a lot has changed. Not a lot has happened. That it's way harder to find stories that are really interesting now than a year ago.
A year ago, it was much better. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where is the campus ledger located?
So right now we're working remotely, obviously, but when we were on campus and eventually when everything is good and we can get back, we are located in the comms building to 60. So we're right down the hall from the student lounge.
Oh, okay. So I'm not sure if you're fully aware, but what is the amount of employees that like students, employees that the campus ledger has?
Right now, I want to say we have probably about 12, which is considered a super small staff. Um, and I think that has to do with the pandemic and people are having to work at home and it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, we have 12 people right now. But usually a staff is a little bit bigger than that.
Okay. And how can students get in contact with the campus ledger?
So right now the easiest way would just to be to email me, or if you want to talk to a different staff member, to email them. All our emails are listed on the website under the staff page. So yeah, I think that would be the easiest right now.
And as always, guys, we will provide those links below. That's always Juliana's line. Juliana, I miss you. All right. So can students write a story to be published on Campus Ledger?
Yes, absolutely. My email is always open for submissions, and we really encourage it, especially with the journalism classes that we do have at Johnson County. I usually go and talk to them. We kind of create a plan for them to send submissions to my email, and then we go through them together. But yeah, even if you're not in a journalism class or in a writing class and something is interesting to you and you want to write about it, my email is always open, and we can talk about what you want to write about, or if you already have something written, and then we can go through that and edit it together, and hopefully get it published.
Okay, so my next question is the Campus Ledger fully digital or is it still print? Or is there a print version?
Yeah, so obviously way back when it was full print, and then once we went digital, until a year ago, we were completely online, but then did a print edition once a semester. So there was two in a year. But since the pandemic and us going remote, we haven't been able to put a print edition together. Plus, who would we give it to? There's not that many people on campus. So yeah, we're just all digital right now, but I think there are plans that when we get to go back to campus, that the print edition will start up again.
Okay, so when you say digital, how, like, I will be completely honest, I have not read a Campus Ledger paper in over a year. Hey, I can say that proudly now. But because when I go to the market, you know that the market on the first student senate floor,
Yeah.
there's always like a little paper, like you guys have like a newspaper distributor thing right there, and I'll pick one up and then I would read it from there. But ever since, I've not been able to read one. So I am new to campus. How would I get this campus ledger? How would I obtain all this information?
So we do have a website, campusledger.com. So that's super easy to find. We also are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And we post supplementary stories there, or we post about the stories, but so you can find us at all those places. I think that the best place to go first would be the website, just because that's going to have the most information and kind of show what we're about and what we're talking about the easiest.
Nice. And how is the filming going? Because, okay, so I always remember too that when I'm walking on campus, I always see that campus ledger news walking like on all the screens across the campus. So how are you guys changing since there's not a lot of students on campus? What are you guys doing to?
Yeah. So with what you're talking about, we changed that to the Cav Report Live, which is a Facebook live show. And we started that right when we got back from spring break last year. So it's been almost a year now that we've been doing this. And so that's a Facebook live show, and we have guests on, talk and stuff like that. So it's very different from what we were originally doing, but I think that it has worked out really well.
Good. Well, as always, guys, we will provide all these links below so you don't have to go rushing through to find them. Do you want to say anything?
No, I don't think I have anything right now.
We covered everything, didn't we?
Yeah.
But guys, always remember to check out the Campus Ledger. Is it just www.campusledger.com?
Yep.
So you guys are just easy. You guys got it easy. We have to mix in student life and JCCC. You guys got a whole website. Proud of you. And don't forget to check them out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Amazing. You guys have all platforms. As always, thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Gracyn, for joining us today. It's been amazing. We'll have all the links in the description for you guys to check out. We're JCCC Student Life on Instagram and Facebook, and Cavalier Corner on all podcasts. Have a great day. And Juliana, we missed you.